Hey guys, so today it is Sunday and I'm gonna get my eyebrows microbladed. It is microblading, but it's not, it's just shading. Let me take my glasses off, there's like a really bad glare. So it's called Ombre Powder brows. I just want to get them like just filled in. I do lose a lot of hair. Like as you can see, like there are some patches in my brows. So what it's gonna happen, the brow artist is gonna shape them up, get rid of any excess hair, which I don't have that much because I did get my eyebrows waxed recently. But yeah, so she's just gonna fill them in and then just shape them up and they're gonna look nice and flawless. It looks like I've done my brows every day pretty much. So it says Ombre Powder. She's only like 10 minutes away. So my appointment's at 9. It's just gone 8:35. I don't know if I have to be there like 15 minutes before. I'm not sure. But it's a 10-minute drive. I wanted to show you guys like the process and all that stuff. Like I just took Tylenol because it is recommended to take Tylenol if you do have a low pain tolerance. And that's exactly what I did because I don't know how I'm going to be feeling with the pain here. Like of course they're going to use like some like numbing cream on my brows first to help eliminate some of the pain. But they said take Tylenol because it will help. So that's why I did. I couldn't have caffeine for 24 hours. That was hard. That was very, very hard actually. I live on caffeine, you guys know this. I did cleanse my skin last night and I did a light exfoliation because they said you could. The exfoliator I have is not harsh anyway. I just couldn't use any glycolic acids or anything like that. Yes, so I'm about to leave and I will show you guys a little bit of the process.
You have, I don't know if you noticed, but your right side, you have lower, like a lower brow structure.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, and so this one is a little bit higher, so I don't try to like match it too much because I don't want the hair to grow outside the line too.
Yeah, they're supposed to be sisters, not twins, right?
Yeah.
I fell asleep during the service. So these are what the brows look like right now. They look so good. I did experience a little bit of bleeding, she said, but not too excessively. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually gonna go home and then I'm gonna sit down with you guys and talk about the prep that you have to do before and then the actual procedure and then talk to you about what I have to do for the aftercare. Let's go home. I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I've been home for almost 3 hours. It's been 3 hours since the appointment ended. These are what they're looking like. And I just put some petroleum jelly on them just to help heal them. You're supposed to do it, they say 3 to 5 times a day. So what I wanted to do, I just wanted to talk to you about a little bit more of the prep and the actual microblading and then the aftercare. Okay, so for the prep, you can't do a lot of things the week before. Obviously, you can't get facials, you can't get microdermabrasion treatments, you can't get chemical peels, and you also can't use any retinols or acids. Obviously, retinol is very strong and highly concentrated, but acids like glycolic acid, salicylic acid, lactic acids, like those types of acids you cannot use. And then also you can't get your brows waxed the week before. A week and a half is fine. I'll explain it to you in a little bit why you can't get your eyebrows waxed. Well, obviously waxing is an exfoliation and it's also a very highly abrasive exfoliation, but I'll definitely explain when we talk about the actual procedure. And then you can't take any omega oils, fish oils, just because they tend to make your skin very oily, and if you have oily skin, the pigment doesn't last that long. It doesn't hold well to your skin, basically. And you cannot take blood thinners, ibuprofen, like Advil. You can take Tylenol before your treatment because it helps ease the pain a little bit. And then you also cannot drink any caffeine beverages like sodas. Obviously, you could drink ginger ale because ginger ale is caffeine-free. No Coke, Pepsi, no coffee, no tea unless it's decaf, anything like that. You, depending on how sensitive you are to caffeine, you can't have it between 24 hours to 48 hours. You can cleanse your face the night before, which I did, and you can use like a light exfoliation, like a light facial scrub, which I did because my skin needed it and that was no problem. So now I'm going to talk about the actual treatment. My appointment was at 9 o'clock, as you guys saw. So I walked in, and before that, actually, once I made the appointment, I had to fill out a form online, this consent form and all of that stuff. Filled out the consent form about a month ago. I made the appointment a month ago. Then when I got there, we kind of just went over it. We sat down, had a chat, and talked about it. She was telling me what the procedure was like. And then she brought me into her studio, which is where she does her work. So the whole session takes about 3 hours in total, and the first hour is actually her mapping out and shaping out the brows. As you can tell, you saw the outline of my brows. So we did that, filled them in, and she uses black pencil. Obviously my eyebrows are not black because it's just the pencil that she used. And then once, she's very detail oriented, my brow girl, and she did an amazing job, and she explained everything to me while she was mapping out my brows and telling me, oh, don't worry about this and this and this. And then once everything was pretty much drawn, we talked about color, and she pretty much goes with your natural hair color. So my hair color is pretty dark, but I do like a lighter brow, so she kind of did, like, as you could tell, it's like kind of like a reddish brown, so it kind of matches with my hair now, the way she was explaining it to me. And she has like this whole chart of like the types of colors that she has, which I thought was pretty cool. And then once we talk about colors, I go use the restroom, and I come back and she tells me to lay on the table, and that's when the tattooing begins. The difference between microblading like your eyebrows, which is like tattooing up the eyebrows, and actually getting like an actual tattoo like this or this, the needle is much smaller and finer. Like the needle is not even the size of my nail, like the thinness, it's very, very thin and fine. And what she does is she does the outline first, and then once the outline is done, that's when she puts a numbing gel on your brows. So she'll do one brow of the outline and then apply the numbing gel, and then she'll put like cellophane on top of it just to hold it in place while it gets settled in, so it can help numb the area. And then she does the same thing on the other side. And what's also cool is the numbing gel is reapplied a couple more times during the procedure, so there's just no discomfort or anything. Then she just does her thing, and it was really cool. It went by very, very quick. I did fall asleep, but I fell asleep probably towards the end. The actual tattooing started at 10 and we finished at 12, so I think I probably fell asleep like halfway. Honestly, it wasn't painful at all. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was pretty much like a 4 or a 5 for me. It really wasn't that painful because since the needle is so fine and I took Tylenol before, it really wasn't that bad. I think right here was the most painful area, but like the tail and going in, it wasn't bad. It's just right here was the most painful. But if I'm gonna be honest, it really kind of tickled. But yeah, so these are what my brows are looking like now, and I can actually wash them later tonight. And she gave me this, which is just the petroleum jelly, pretty much a Vaseline or an Aquaphor. So yeah, she said this would last me for a couple of weeks. I don't know if it will. Just applied some just to keep the brows hydrated and to help heal it. And the healing process takes about a month, she says. And then I actually go back in 8 weeks time, like literally 8 weeks today. So I go back in October for a touch-up, and then after I do the touch-up, then I am good for the year. And when I come back, we're gonna just do the whole thing over again. And honestly, it's given me such a nice shape. It makes me feel good knowing that my brows are always gonna look nice. Talk about brows being nice. I did say that you can get your eyebrows waxed the week before, and that is because she actually uses a shaver. Like, you know how they have those dermaplaning shavers? Well, she uses that for your brows. So I forgot to mention that, and she just cleans up the areas of the brows and all that stuff. So that's why you shouldn't wax your eyebrows before your appointment, just because it's too much to the skin. When you wax and you use a strip, it's very abrasive. You're pulling your skin, and then also when you're using the dermaplaning shaver, you're scraping off your skin as well, and you can severely hurt yourself if you're not careful. So that's why you really shouldn't do an extreme exfoliation like waxing, microdermabrasion treatments, chemical peels, dermaplaning. You can't do that either. But like I said, I just used a facial scrub. She said I did have some bleeding. Obviously, there's needles going into my skin. There is going to be some bleeding, but depending on how much you do bleed, the pigment can change. Like the fading could happen and it wouldn't look as nice, but she said I didn't have that much bleeding, so it wasn't too bad. So I also wanted to talk about a little bit the aftercare and what I have to do. So the aftercare is I'm not allowed to touch or rub my eyebrows. You cannot touch them with your fingers because it could lead to a bacterial infection. So what she recommended is actually using Q-tips to apply the petroleum jelly. With the petroleum jelly, you do have to apply a very thin layer, and then also when you sleep, you should sleep on your back. And if you have satin pillowcases, definitely use those, which I do use. I sleep on them anyways. I have cotton pillowcases, but I sleep on my satin pillowcases. Like, I just flip them over. The eyebrows could be very itchy. That's what happens with the healing process with anything with a tattoo or stuff like that. So you're gonna experience like some scabbing and some peeling, and you're not supposed to touch it just because it can lead to more harm, and also it's very dirty. And you can't wear makeup, no brow tinting, no waxing, excessive sweating, saunas, regular soap, bar soap you cannot use. You can't even go in a jacuzzi, chlorine pools. If you go in a saltwater pool, it's fine, but just don't put your head under. And then you cannot have any contact with animals. So I'm kind of glad that I did this after my trip. Also, I cannot be in the sun for too long, which honestly, New York weather this summer has been shit. It's been so bad that I'm not planning on going out in the sun anyway. I normally don't hang out in the sun when I'm up here because I'd rather be in bed watching TV or on the computer playing Sims. So honestly, it's not that bad. And she also advised me to wear a hat, pair of sunglasses, which is fair because with the hat, there's a sun visor. Like, she especially wants me to wear a baseball cap because there's a sun visor, so it'll protect that. And then also wear sunglasses, which you guys know I love my Michael Kors sunglasses, so I'll wear them. They're big enough so they'll help with my eyebrows as well. And then she told me if I experience any itching or swelling or oozing to contact my doctor, stop using the jelly. And if you end up running a temperature, fever, or the area is very, very hot, if the area is very, very hot or it's bleeding, that is a sign to an infection. So you have to be very, very careful. So she told, like I said, she told me to contact my doctor and her if I experience any problems. Of course, my eyebrows are sore because they've just had needles put into them like a few hours ago. So I think so far they're fine. I don't see any redness. The redness kind of went down significantly. So I'm gonna have a shower later and I'm gonna just show you guys what they look like afterwards, and then that'll be the end of this video. But I'm very impressed so far, and hopefully they stick up. Like I said, I have a follow-up appointment within 8 weeks to do some more shading if I need it. Okay guys, so it is just gone 7:30. I've just washed my face. I put a little bit of toner. I'm not gonna put any moisturizer on just because I don't want it to affect anything. And I will say this, when I was washing my face and then putting a toner, there was ink coming off, but like it was coming off in places that I wasn't expecting. Here and here, like literally in my hairline as well. I reapplied the jelly and I didn't wash my brows. They're just a little bit like red, sensitivity wise red, but that's just normal. But it's not painful. It's not painful. It's not sore or anything. So I do have to lay on my back, and I'm not a back sleeper, so that's gonna be very difficult for me actually. Hopefully I don't like toss and turn in the middle of the night because I'm that type of sleeper. So that is my update. Brows are looking really, really good. Anyway guys, if you have any more questions about microblading, please just let me know, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.